welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to cover the solution to this specific Leetcode question, and also at the same time I'm going to briefly go through the general steps in the coding interview. So let's get started. So in the real coding interview, usually the interviewer starts with some warm-up conversation, and then the next step is to introduce a problem, explain the problem to you. So usually the first step you need to take is to try to fully understand the problem. If there's anything unclear, please bring the questions to the interviewer, and at the same time think about some edge cases. So let's read through this problem. It's called minimum add to make parentheses valid. So given the string s of the open and the closing parentheses, and we add the minimum number of the parentheses open or close and in any positions, so that the resulting parentheses string is valid. So formally, a parentheses string is valid if and only if it is a valid string, or it can be written as AB. So A concatenated with B, and A and B are valid strings. Or it can be written as open A and closing, well, A is a valid string. So given the parentheses string return the minimum number of the parentheses we must add to make the resulting string valid. So essentially, for each of the open parentheses, we should try to find a matching closing parentheses to make it a valid string. Otherwise, if there is any extra open or closing parentheses, then we treat it as invalid, and then we need to introduce some extra parentheses to make it valid. So let's see, the length of the string is between 0 to 1000, and the string is only consists of the open and closing parentheses. So the general solution, so the next step after you understand the question is to try to think about the idea to solve this problem, and discuss the idea with the interviewer, and at the same time you will need to do some runtime space analysis and to get an agreement with the interviewer before you proceed to the next step to do some coding work. And also during the coding part, take care about the correctness, readability, and don't be too slow. So let's go through this piece of code. The general solution is more like a stack related stuff, but instead of using a stack, we just use a parameter here to save some space. So first of all, we define a parameter which is how many extra parentheses we need to make it valid, and then the other thing, the open parameter means how many of the non-matching open parentheses we have in the current substring we have already visited. So in this for loop, we visit each of the character within the string from the left to the right. If it is open one, we just plus the open. Otherwise, it is a closing parenthesis. We need to see whether there is a matching open parenthesis for there. If there's no, then we need to plus the extra parentheses needed. Otherwise, we just minus open by 1. And finally, we return extra parentheses needed plus open, because for some cases, for example, example 2, there are way more open parentheses than closing parentheses. So at the end, the open can be a non-zero number. So that's essentially how we solve this problem. The runtime is going to be O of n, and is the length of the string, and the space-wise is going to be constant. So that's it for this coding question. Remember, after you're done with coding, please do some testing. Either set up some test cases to run it, or explain it to the interviewer by going through some menu steps. And that's it about this video. I hope you like it. If you like it, feel free to leave some comments below, or subscribe to this channel. I feel very grateful about that. Thanks a lot to watch this video, and have a good night.